This is a message to the pro-choice movement and to mothers who are currently considering whether or not to have an abortion. I'm not even going to wait for the intro because I just want to get straight into it. If you're seeing this vlog for the first time, then welcome. The point of Bro Willow is to share thoughts on what we think is true and promote civil discussion in the midst of controversy. In the last couple of videos, I focused on the topic of abortion and invited others to weigh in. I framed the abortion debate as a consideration of the rights of women versus the rights of unborn human beings. What rights do either of them have, if at all? Does an unborn child have a right to life that supersedes the rights of a woman? My position on this tough issue is that in the vast majority of cases, abortion should be illegal. The only thing holding me back from advocating for total illegalization is the horrible situation in which a mother's life is truly in danger. I fully understand that hearing my view on this issue might be uncomfortable for you. Many times, the uncomfortable conversations are the ones that are most needed. The first thing I want to make clear is that I and most people on the anti-abortion side don't hold this view because we hate women or want to take away their rights. I can't say that there's absolutely nobody like that, because there can be a small percentage of extreme people on the fringes of any debate. It's possible that there are people whose primary motivation really is to take away women's rights. Just like it's possible that there are people whose primary motivation is to get rid of unborn human beings. My gut tells me that those people aren't representative of the majority of either side. And my point is that this message is not on behalf of or for them. On the contrary, I think the rights of women should be honored and encouraged. Women should have the right to life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness just as much as any man. They should be treated with dignity and accurately recognized for their abilities and the quality of their character. If my intent isn't to take away women's rights, then what am I saying? I'm saying that an unborn human being has the right to life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness as well. I'm saying that our society has an obligation to protect the unborn, just as it has an obligation to protect adult human beings from one another. Our disagreement all boils down to personhood. My message to pro-abortion advocates is that if you want to have a productive conversation with those who disagree with you, then take the time to listen to what they are saying and address the point of disagreement. Holding up a sign implying that you're with women and we're not is not an accurate depiction of the situation. If you actually want to change the minds of anti-abortion advocates, then give them your critical opinion on the personhood of the unborn. That is the debate, because if an unborn life is not a person, then of course you can do whatever you want with your body, because there's nothing of worth for society to be involved in. But if an unborn human life is a person and has intrinsic value, then what you are asking for is permission to kill somebody. I'm not trying to attack or condemn anyone. I'm just encouraging you to seriously consider the idea of personhood before committing to the pro-abortion cause. While I know that the following clip isn't representative of everybody, it does show me that there are people who don't take this consideration seriously.
When does human life begin?
I think. Do you know the answer to that scientifically? No.
I don't know the answer to that.
When would you say life begins?
I don't think it is about determining when life begins. I think it's just a very personal, painful choice that, every woman has to make, and I don't think a government should make it. I don't think another individual should make it.
Until you know for sure that an unborn human being is not a person, until you have a solid opinion on that matter, being pro-life is the right side to be on for as long as you lack an opinion on personhood. Let me illustrate. Advocating for abortion without considering the personhood of the unborn is like a hunter pulling the trigger before being absolutely sure that what he is shooting at is not a person. This isn't a contrived scenario. Back in 2017, a man mistook a woman for a deer while hunting after sunset. He shot and killed her because of that mistake and was found guilty of criminally negligent homicide. One of the basic lessons of safety that hunters learn is that you should always know what you are shooting at and what is behind it, just in case you miss or the bullet passes through your target. If we should be that careful and aware while hunting, then shouldn't we be just as or more careful with the prospect of actively killing a fetus? Here is my message to three groups of people. To pro-abortion advocates, if you want to have a productive conversation with those who oppose you, then lead with the topic of personhood. If you truly think that personhood is irrelevant to the issue, then start the conversation by conceding that an unborn human being is a person and go from there. To society, if we as a society aren't sure about the personhood of the unborn, then it would be better for us to have legislation that errs on the side of assuming personhood and restricts abortion appropriately based on that assumption. If 100 years from now we have all of this figured out as a society, what would be worse? Looking back and knowing that we unjustifiably limited the liberty of millions of women? Or looking back and knowing that we unjustifiably allowed the killing of millions of people? And finally, to pregnant women considering abortion. I'm not trying to condemn you. I know that you might be scared. You might not feel ready to have a baby. You might see this pregnancy as making your life harder, ruining your plans for the future, or even negatively affecting your body. In the midst of it all, I encourage you to think for yourself if a doctor, a friend, or a family member encourages abortion as a morally acceptable option for you to take. Nobody can force you to have an abortion. You have time to think. Be as sure as you can about whether or not you are carrying a person inside of you. This is not a light decision. If you recognize the personhood of the human being growing inside of you, then the decision to have an abortion is as serious as determining whether or not to kill an adult human being or even a child. If you're a comic book movie fan, think of the gravity and emotion behind Batman's decision to spare the Joker and Superman's decision to kill Zod. The point is that even though they are both villains, they are people nonetheless. That kind of serious consideration of human life, that kind of gravity, is what I expect in any conversation on abortion. This is the most direct I've been so far on this channel. I've done my best throughout these videos to show you my heart for talking about the hard things. I hope that it inspires you to let me know how you think I'm wrong or opens your eyes to new ways to think. As always, the comment section is open to you. If you've been following Bro Willow, then you know that last time I raised the question of whether or not it should ever be legal to kill an innocent life in order to save another. To be honest, I'm not quite sure what the answer to that is yet. In the case of the classic trolley problem, where I can flip a switch to cause a runaway trolley to hit and kill an innocent stranger instead of my daughter, I think I would save my daughter. Should society condemn me in that case? Well, maybe. Perhaps I should have to pay a price for intentionally taking an innocent life, regardless of who I was saving. I don't know. In the next video, I'm going to be really personal with y'all. If you want to watch out for future videos featuring honest discussions on heavy topics and questions, then like and follow the Bro Willow page if you're on Facebook, and subscribe to the Bro Willow channel if you're on YouTube. Thanks for watching.